Hello folks, I hope that you're having just a great day today, keeping yourself safe in our world. Today I'm taking a look at Beyond the Door by Paul Suter, with a 1T, not 2. He was somebody who was very prolific during the Pulp Era. This story, Beyond the Door, is published in 1923. He published it for Weird Tales. He has about a half a dozen or so short stories for Weird Tales that appeared that are sort of in that weird fiction category. Now I'm coming to you from, again, H.P. Lovecraft's favorite Weird Tales collection, which I've done a couple of stories and reviews for you now on Sunday. So I'm going to take another Sunday and hit up another writer and another story that H.P. Lovecraft feels is worth being in one of his favorite stories. He actually, in the early 30s, he wrote a piece for Weird Tales where he chose some stories for them to reprint as some of their classics as a part of an anniversary issue. And he said that there are 5 short stories that he thinks are absolute classics, absolute works of art from the 10-year Weird Tales catalog. And he goes back to his catalog and reads all the stories, and this is one of the 5 stories that he chooses as one of these classics of the Weird Tales. So we're going to be taking a look at Beyond the Door by Paul Suter, published in 1923 in the early era of Weird Tales, right after it got started. So we'll take a look at it. So what's going to happen is that we're going to open up with a scene that somebody has apparently died, and it's our main character's uncle. And he just got a report from the coroner as to what happened to his uncle, and he's now at his uncle's house, and he's now talking to his uncle's worker, and she is there on the scene, and she's hard to figure out, she's hard to give information and pull it out of. So he tries to use some oratory tricks to bring out of her what she does. Eventually he's able to connect with her and get her to start opening up as to what happens, and then she will start opening up about what happens in the house. This person is a lover of bugs. He's a bachelor. He was somebody who had a female ward, but she left suddenly one night. She went back to Australia. She was from Australia proper and was a ward from there. And so we'll find out some of the things that happened with the ward. We're going to find his diary, and then we're going to start to read his diary after our protagonist reads it. So about 2/3 of the short story is going to be the diary of what was happening in the house, what was happening with the person and his mindset, and what was happening with the woman. So that's kind of a quick synopsis of Beyond the Door. This story is very well written. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's very strong written. It feels a little bit more like an Edgar Allan Poe psychological horror story than it does a true sort of weird tale that you might expect to find in Weird Tales. But it still has that sort of a psychological horror to it. It's more of it feels more like a Telltale Heart than it does like by Edgar Allan Poe, which is all about psychological horror and things happening because I'm my guilty conscience, things are happening to me. It's not Eldritch, it's not. I haven't read the Necronomicon or something like that in the Cthulhu mythos, or Robert Chambers's. I haven't read the King of Yellow play either, which he did in 1895. This is the same idea. I haven't had my eyes lifted to what's really happening by drugs in the Great God Pan, or Clark Ashton Smith's The Plutonian Drug, which are all these sort of contemporaries that were happening. Instead, this is more of an homage to Poe, which I appreciate. I think it's very well done. I think it's very well written, and by J. Paul Suter. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'll link you to this collection below in the comments so you can check it out and buy it on Amazon if you want to read some stories in it and find out what stories H.P. Lovecraft thought were the best in the genre and what were his picks and his favorites. I'll also try to link you to it and find a link online. A 1923 Weird Tales story is probably past its sell-by date when it comes to the copyright, but you can't always find these online, right? Somebody had to care enough about this story to put it online, right? So I'll try to find it for you. Maybe it's in a Gutenberg somewhere, but no promises. But we'll see what my Google Foo can find for you. But there you go. I'll leave it to it. Have you read Beyond the Door? Did you enjoy it? Or not? Did you agree or disagree with anything in my video? I would be more than happy to engage you with it further in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please feel encouraged to hit that subscribe button. There's going to be so many more of these to follow. And finally, hey, I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day and investing in my video. You know, we all have so many things happening in our lives, right? And we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have a great day.